Good morning. It's Monday morning, the 1st of July, and as I put on our Facebook, the truck is in the shop getting some more maintenance done that was discovered during the regular maintenance. I'm getting a coolant leak repaired, which could have been a really bad thing, especially seeing as how where I've been going and what I've been pulling. I'm also getting an exhaust leak repaired, and I'm getting a front tie rod end replaced because it's starting to get loose. All of that is not just for the good of the truck and me being able to get the jobs done, but for safety. Anyway, you may have heard me say in business it's all about cost control. I think I've said that on several of the videos, and you probably wonder sometimes why I always say that. And I wanted to give you an example. We're getting ready to do our IFTA quarterly taxes today or over the next 2 days. And while reviewing the data, I've discovered that I've spent in the last 3 months, since March 1st until June 30th, $9,521.34 in fuel alone. It is a lot of money, to be sure. And then I looked at our P&L and I learned that we spent $30,043.96 total in the first 6 months of running our business. $16,613 of that was for operational costs, and the rest was for fuel. Now, when you pick up in the summer and you get busier, your fuel costs are going to go up, and of course everything's going to lag behind. So, the 13,430 that we've already spent in fuel this first 6 months, 9,500 of that is just during this last 3 months. So, in case you were wondering about that, in this example, you can see that it actually costs us over $5,000 a month to run one truck. And that's just the company cost. That's just to keep the company going. That doesn't include the home cost. I mean, this is all we do. So we still have mortgage and rent and electricity and phone and car payments and bike payments and yada yada yada, and trailer payment and truck payment. All that stuff is above and beyond just the company. So you may be asking yourself, is there any money to be made in this then? And the simple answer is yes. But if you don't watch every cent that you spend and you're not aware of what you're spending, you'll get upside down in a New York second. And then you'll end up going bankrupt. In business, they say, and you will be in the red for 1 to 3 years before you start making any money. Don't think you're just going to get out here and make a killing. You'll end up like 95% of the other new transportation companies, going bankrupt or belly up in the first 6 months. The first year is always the hardest, but it can be done. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. We're about ready to start calculating some of our IFTA stuff, and because a pissant decided to cost me more money by breaking into my truck and stealing my GPS, we have had to go on our written words. See, that GPS keeps track of all my mileage and my fuel and what states and so on and so forth, as well as our IBDFRs, as well as the P&L. It's a multiple redundant system, but it is important because now that the GPS is gone, if I didn't keep that redundant system going, I would have no way to calculate our taxes. So maybe in a little bit I'll show you. I was actually planning on showing you how to pull the information off the computer, off the GPS, and how to calculate it and do your fuel taxes that way, but of course we're not going to be able to do that this quarter anyway. I may show you a little bit about how to do it by hand a long way, but I haven't really decided yet. So if I don't, then I decided not to. Anything else? Oh, I did order another GPS. Uh, I said to hell with getting a new one. I couldn't afford $500 for that, but I did get a refurbished one coming for about half the price. And if I would have, when I get the item, if it is as good as what it says as it is, and in a new condition, then I would strongly suggest, if you're going to get something like what I just had to rebuy, instead of paying full retail for it, go on Rand McNally and look for some refurbished shit, which you could probably get. Well, I got it at half the price of what I would have normally paid for it, so it's all about cost control. Of course, we've got a new windshield, our lettering is now back on the truck, and all that stuff had to cost us again. Got some window tint that I need to put on this afternoon after they get finished with it at Firestone, so I can sleep back there without having a bunch of fucking lights coming through the windshield and blinding me. All that stuff adds up real quick. Again, we've spent over $30,000 in the last 6 months, which is more than a lot of people make in a year. Okay, so that's good, but we're putting everything that we're making back into the company. So I'm actually starting to project, if we continue the business the way we're doing, and we don't have any more major fucking hiccups or malfunctions or head up ass syndromes. My head up my ass, by the way, is what I was talking about. Getting into an accident or something like that. We're on track to make probably almost $100,000 this year. But again, most all of it goes right back into the company, and then the rest of what we have just strings us along with the mortgage and the rent and the car payments and so on and so forth. So one of the things that I want to try to do when we start getting more and more money coming in, since I do have so many liabilities, is starting to pay off the liabilities, eliminate them, which would increase the money that we have to spend, which means if I eliminate the little bills and I don't regenerate those, then I have that little bit of money back in the budget, so I can spend that to help bring down the big bills. And once I get a few more things, probably about 4 or 5 things paid off, we'll be looking pretty good. I'm really hoping so. But it's obvious to me. I mean, I see a lot of people, even Derek. Derek had 3 trucks on the road. I don't understand how he could do that, because I'm looking at our stuff, and I can barely keep 1 truck going. But he did, and apparently a couple things fucked up. One of his trailers burned down. One of his trucks blew up. The other one blew up because of the driver ignorance. And so he said that he's just going to go back to 2 trucks. Well, I'm not comfortable putting a 2nd truck on yet. Not numerically, but we'll get there. Once I start getting like I said, the liabilities that I have paid off, to where we have that money to where I can feel comfortable about purchasing another truck, and we got the money to pay for that, and bringing on another driver, a competent driver, and confident that I have the money to pay him as well for his hard work, then I'll go ahead and do that. But until then, with these numbers, it's just not working out quite as fast as I wanted it to. But therein lies the paradox. It is working. It's not like what you would anticipate. It's not what I would have planned for, but it is working. We're still here. We still got our bills paid, and we're still moving forward, even though we have all these mechanical issues, which is going to happen. We're still taking care of it. Oh, and speaking on mechanical issues, kind of thinking back to Aaron's question last week or whatever about, what truck to get. The bigger truck you get, not only the more you're going to spend on fuel, but the more you're going to spend on maintenance. 3,500, just about everybody can work on them. Shit, I could work on it myself if I had time. But, when you start getting up into the top kicks, or the 5500s, or some of the business class Freightliners or whatever, now you're going up in cost just to do the repairs. For a top kick, let's say, I was looking at on Craigslist the other day, and I saw a top kick, and they said has 143,000 miles on it, has new fuel injectors and yada yada yada, $4,000 worth of work, and I'm thinking, Wow, how could you afford that? I couldn't. Not like this. But that's why I stick with my 3500, which does not always do the job as quick as I want it to, but it does do the job. Stick with that, and $5,000 a month is what we're spending to keep the company going, and that's okay because we're still here. And I'm not spending $4,000 for new fuel injectors on a 5500, and I'm not having to take my truck to a truck center and spend $2,500 or $3,000 on a set of tires when I can get it for $1,500 on my 3500. So hopefully you caught all those numbers, and if you didn't, just review the video again. What an ass I am sometimes. Okay, that's all I wanted to share with you for now. We'll talk to you later. Peace. Hello, it is I, my fellow YouTubers. I am back. I had a quagmire that didn't end nice for me at the beginning of the week. I was going to shoot a video on the IPTA, and when I was sitting down to actually complete my IPTA, my camera decided it didn't want to work anymore. So yeah, my button right here fell through, and of course I dissected it all, and I found that the little switch had come off the soldering, but I didn't have a soldering iron quite small enough to fix it. So yep. So this is the camera I was using, and now, thanks to a very nice person on eBay with very quick shipping, I'm back in the saddle giving you guys what you like, what you love, what you need more of. Anyway, this week we only did one run, and we did that on the 3rd and on the 4th, which was yesterday. And as most of you guys know already, DOT was nice enough to pull me over right after I got on the road there out of Farr into Edinburgh. They pulled me over, and the dude, very staunch, very uptight, you know the type, he decides that he wants to do a roadside inspection on me. Of course, here again, it's like a shark. You know, I see him getting on the highway nice and slow, and I know what he's doing. He's scoping me out. And I get on the highway, and he kind of pulls next to my trailer and just kind of eases back nice and slowly, just like a damn shark getting ready to attack. And he turns on his lights and pulls me over, and I get over, and he comes out and he says, "Roadside inspection." Okay. I figured it was mainly to check the new logbook information to make sure I was compliant with that. But no, he wants to do a full-blown gotcha type roadside inspection, and I thought I was good. Of course, last week on that video I talked about that tire, and I totally forgot about it. I honestly did. I've only done one run this week, and when I walked around my trailer and did my pre-trip inspection, of course, I was in sand, so I didn't really see the tread pattern anymore, and I didn't think about it. And but he was nice enough to remind me. He was nice enough to remind me with a violation. So, thank you, Officer, whatever your name is down there in Edinburgh, for fucking up my CSA. But that's okay. We got the tires fixed. We actually spent almost $1,000 today. We got 6 new tires put on. There was only one tire that he was concerned about. The other ones he said are going to be about me. To hell with that, because I'll forget again. I went ahead and did it all at the same time. So basically I just have 2 of the older tires on the inside front, third axle inside dual on both the driver and the passenger side. So I was a little concerned about possibly it being out of alignment, and if it is out of alignment, because there's not very much a whole lot of tread on those tires. It's legal, but not a whole lot of tread. Then it'll show me very quickly if if it is out of alignment, then I can go ahead and address that issue, versus putting on all brand new tires and end up screwing them all up again. But that is about all that has happened this week so far. I need to go get a DOT physical. I was going to, I might end up taking you on the DOT physical. I don't know. Back when I was getting into this, I had a lot of questions on the physical. The physical is not a big deal. They, just basically check your hearing, your eyesight, your reflexes, make sure you can bend, stoop, sit, stand, walk, whatever. Make sure that you can hear from a distance silent or quiet sounds, so your hearing is good. They do urinalysis. It is not for drugs. What they do is a urinalysis for ketones to make sure you're not a diabetic. Remember though, you are going to have a drug test either before, during, or after your employment. So if you're an owner-operator like we are, you have to belong to a drug consortium, which means we had to go get with this drug consortium. Then we had to go do a drug test, DOT, which is I think it is a dual test, whatever. They get their test results and then they send the other one to the doctor to verify the test results to make sure that nobody squeezes through. Anyway, then we sent all that information to the drug consortium and they put us in a random drug list, so our name can come up at any time. That way we're compliant with FMCSA, and we're out here making some money and just having a good time. So yep, generally it takes about 20 or 30 minutes to do the physical. Right now that the truck is back and fixed, I actually need to start looking for somebody to do it. I know Minute Clinic out of the CVS pharmacies do it sometimes if they've got somebody there, but you've got to go find the right one. I called a physical place that just does physicals, and they never called me back, so I guess they don't want my business. But we'll see. If I get there and they say they're cool with being videotaped, I may go ahead and videotape it for you guys, just to show you what it's like. Again, it's not a big deal. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Things they're looking for is stuff that if you have, you don't need to be on the road anyway. CVA, if you're totally freaking ignorant and can't even communicate, if you've got a severe, if you're diabetic and you have where your sugar drops and you lose consciousness, if you have vertigo, if you have sleep apnea, things that would fatigue you quickly on the road, these are the things that throw up red flags for them. If you don't have any of that shit, don't even worry about it. Just go get your physical out of the way. Bada bing, bada boom. Move on to the next step. So, okay, that's about it. I'll probably do an IPTA thing another time. Maybe, I don't know if I should go ahead and do it now or not. But I'll think about it. But I was definitely going to do it until Cameron decided to go shit face on me. But that's okay, because we're back up and running. Talk to you later. Peace.